Welcome back to Jimmy Fame Presents More Pod for Your Bod. Sponsored by Charlie the Lizard Folks, Chicken Emporium, more cluck for your buck. There's a bonus against the machine in there somewhere. I'll just copy it in from the first half. Boop. Welcome to Jimmy Fame Presents Bonus Against the Machine, more pod for your bod. Sponsored by Charlie the Lizard Folks, Chicken Emporium, more cluck for your buck. I'm your GM, Jeff. And this is everybody.
Hello.
Astounding.
Does anyone else see, like, a Bond villain standing over a Bond, just, like, hurling pod at them? Because when I hear more pod for your bod, I'm imagining someone being tortured under the weight of several pod. And they're like, do you expect...
Just that scene from The Crucible, but it's podcasts instead of rocks.
It's like, more pods!
I don't expect you to pod, Mr. Bond.
We're delightful.
Yeah, we are. I couldn't decide what I wanted to say in Sean Connery's James Bond voice, and so I just did nothing instead. That's what's going on in this time. Brain. Oh boy, we are in for a treat.
Sean Connery's James Bond voice, as opposed to all of his other many different accents he did over his years as an actor.
His Russian, it was like I was there.
In Russia.
Whoa.
Da, comrade, indeed.
Well, in Soviet Russia, accent does you, so...
That's fair.
So Marcus Ramus was Lithuanian.
So why are we in this cave?
Well, when last we left, our intrepid band of adventurers, capably being played in 2nd edition by our intrepid cast of all-stars, they being former crewmates on the Brass ship. Pretty sure it's the Brass Bounty. Let's see, I know the name of the ship of the adventure that I'm running.
It's the brass ship.
Brass
The
Bird.
brass bird?
Woo!
Yeah.
They were formerly crewmates on the Brass Bird together under Captain Renlock. The ship, of course, being famously finally captured by the Andorran Navy. Captain Renlock made a deal to let everybody out of prison under, in a shorter time while he remained. Each of you had gone off on your own separate ways, living your own separate, piratical or otherwise lives, when Renlock's longtime companion, a mechanical bird named Carlo, if you can't hear it, Cawlo, approached with a message letting you know that Captain Renlock had died and asking for everyone to meet together where the ship had been sank, then got sinkified, big holes in it, now it's in the water, and there's apparently some sort of last adventure. Each of you received a fragment of a map and were reunited. You used your teamwork and general intelligence to assemble the fragments of the map into a whole with W, one composite unit of solid mappage, and in so doing have tools at your disposal to solve riddles laid before you by the captain. There was the first riddle: where do we even go from here? There is a beam of sunlight on the tiller, what some would call a ship's wheel. It's a tiller. And figured out the crazy first riddle. Turning the wheel all round to the right cardinal directions, and hey, secret passage opens up. Go through the secret passage. Oh no, big ants. Big ant fight. Crazily overpowered bird. We'll get to that. And then, no big deal, there's a statue to Gozra, if you will, and yada yada yada, giant waterfall. Didn't mess around. Big splash, wet bludge. There's a whole situation, but eventually the party prevailed, defeated the waterfall, and another passage was opened. That's where we find ourselves here, drenched in water And you can almost see that as the water kind of drips off the feathers of Sphinx, it's like the overpoweredness also drips away, and he is now an appropriately leveled animal companion.
Sphinx hates water despite being a giant seagull of some sort. It's canon. And unfortunately, it seems they will no longer be performing at their super-powered capacity in just an average bird situation. An average level 5 bird.
Well, in the spirit of Hiram, mourn the capabilities of an animal companion. Take a drink.
Whew. Don't mind if I do. And in case you were wondering, listeners, this shouldn't even have to be said, but no time has passed.
No time has passed.
We all retain a strong grasp on these rules.
And our characters.
It was a big battle. Everyone
And-
was jumping. Can I volunteer to do the recap? I remember what happened. No way. So do I. I was like, I'll just do it to keep it consistent.
I mean, none of us even had to remember. It just happened. No time has passed. And because no time has passed, we definitely remember if I asked the question before whether this is a statue of the male version of Gaza or the female version, right? And what your answer was, which was, of course...
I believe we established just seconds ago that this was female water Gazra.
Okay, so it's the ocean Gaza, not the sky Gaza.
Indeed.
And now that we say this, I do remember going over this conversation before.
That's because we just recently did it.
Yeah.
So this second passageway previously discussed, is that this guy right here above Sphinx's head?
Yes, just past the appropriately powered animal companion, there is a passage that goes, well, looks like, if anyone were to peer in, I'll do a legendary polygon reveal. And in tradition, Zach could speak to my expertise at revealing light. Nothing is happening. Yep.
Oh, are you...
just-
okay.
Just clicking all over.
He's building us up.
I was going to... The tension is...
Yeah.
Whew.
Let's keep the excitement going,
Oh,
people.
there we go.
There
It
it
was
is.
only the 17th times a charm.
I
Brought
would
to you
love...
by Roll20. This is how we roll. So it's a bit of a... The passage goes in 3 directions. Before you see options on how to go. Words and paths. Boop. I am just all bloopers. Oops, all bloopers. Part 2. More bloopers for your ear holes.
Yeah,
Nope.
they've gone a different
I'm gonna say it.
So
More
would you
bloopers for
say
your pooper.
it's-
Anyway.
Is it another turning point, perhaps a fork stuck in the road?
It does resemble the second largest fork in the world.
By what you mean, it kind of looks like a spatula.
It could be a spatula, but one will never know.
It would have to be like a pretty broken spatula, though, because the 2 different directions seem to arc off pretty dramatically.
It's a terrible spatula.
Are
I-
you not cooking 2 burgers at once?
No.
Get on my level.
Are you cooking burgers?
Right
Vegan
now,
burgers.
Or just a
can't see.
mushroom?
He's cooking vegan burgers right now. It's impossible to see.
Aha. I see what you did there.
Sorry
That
if that
was-
joke was beyond you.
Aha, that's it.
Ooh.
Covered
Beat
all
me
of the
to it.
non-meats. Oh,
thank you
Boca.
for our sponsor, Beyond Meat. We're all consuming handfuls of your raw product this evening. Appreciate it.
You're a real morning star.
Something my entirely silent chat
Amy's.
pun that none of the audience can see was better.
Better?
hang on.
I caught Zach's music reference.
Oh, got it. Okay.
You know, in the
Nothing to
end,
do with vegetarian
he
food.
was right.
In the end, nothing really matters. Lincoln Park outro. I'm going to bed. We're doing great. 13 minutes in. I'm sure that
We
this
are
is all
so-
We
usable.
have seconds of content.
Can I just toss a bird down there?
Sure, just go ahead and roll to huck a bird. I'll take an
Roll to bird
athletics check.
toss.
Or nature. Yeah, so this pathway opened. It was a secret passage. You never would have guessed it because this wasn't the second one that you just had happen with the opening of it. Oh boy. I'll take a drink of this coffee because I need more, apparently.
Okay. I'm gonna send Sphinx down. Let's say the left one, and I will roll both stealth and percept to see what I see.
Perfect.
Great. Just
Go,
jump up
murder
here.
bird. Slay them all.
Yeah, and I'll let everyone else vamp while I try to remember my accent.
Yeah. Well, while that's happening, I think Mejuli will send Shirasen down the other passage. Unfortunately, as he passes under the waterfall, all of his teeth fall out.
Oh no.
And he loses his bite attack. But yeah, he will go the other way, also percepting and...
Incredibly dangerous cave.
I don't think we should go under this waterfall. It seems like it's messing the animals up.
Well, thankfully the rest of us are normal. Looks around at...
Pretty judgmental against animals.
Fair point.
Just,
Concession. Take a drink.
that's a 22 on the stealth check. So if there are spooky monsters, I maybe see them, in theory. And a roll for perception. That's much lower. That is a... Wait for it. Oh, 16 for perception. And low light vision with my normal powered bird.
Okay.
And this polygon reveal, might I say. I can't wait to tell future generations that I was here for this.
Man, you humbled me. But we'll start at the northern of the passages, where Sphinx silently glides in like a very quiet bird. Getting a word picture. And percepts the room that Sphinx sees. It's flanked on both sides by wooden racks bedecked with old, dust-covered weapons. Some appear to be in fine condition, while others appear to be nothing more than rusted scrap. And Sphinx can see, mere moments before Sphinx is seen, that familiar clockwork parrot, sitting atop a small plaque at the far end of the chamber, lit from above by a narrow shaft of light. And when Shiroshin? Yeah, when S-Money goes into the chamber towards the east, that cavern corridor opens up into a naturally domed chamber. There's 4 stone pedestals standing before a small altar, kind of arrayed in a semicircular pattern. Each of the pedestals looks like there's a place, like a little inlay. Looks like there's a little inlay for an object of some kind. And on the altar, there are, in fact, 4 stone sculptures. One sculpture depicts the sun. Another depicts a crescent moon. The third actually is a tablet with a small constellation of stars carved into it, looking amazingly like something seen by the James Webb Telescope. And the fourth resembles a comet racing through the sky. The pedestals are identical, save for the fact that each has a shining coin set into its face, starting on the left with copper, followed by silver, gold, and finally platinum.
So you said these
That's interesting.
pedestals are identical, but they have a plaque on the front of them on the ground. Zach's head has been replaced by a whole dog. Mm-hmm. But answer the first part of that question. The second part was more of a statement.
Yes, Zach's face has been replaced by a whole dog. And no, the pedestals are all the same, except for the coin on the front of them is different. On the altar itself, so it looks just like a table on the map, but there's a stone altar, and there are 4 sculptures on the altar. There are a sculpture of the sun, a crescent moon, a small constellation of stars, and a comet racing through the sky.
Okay, so we probably have to figure out... Okay. I thought you said they were already sitting on the various pedestals. I misunderstood that. I see what we got to do.
So, of course, the bird and the fairy dragon relate these descriptions.
It's
in
incredible.
detail.
It's true. Yeah,
They
the
come
bird
back.
comes back.
I mean,
and
mine's
is
a
like,
familiar, so I'm
Oh.
assuming it can tell me.
Yeah, and Julie is also a bird, so Sphinx will just,
Sphinx-
bird speak at it.
Yeah, comes back and is like, don't believe what your eyes are telling you. All they show is limitation. Look with your understanding. I've been wanting to quote Jonathan Livingston Seagull since we started this, and I saw your little creature, so
That's fair.
my headcanon is they're a philosophical seabird.
Totally, I had that same idea. Good job.
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
So, where do we want to go, gang? The top or the side?
Let's let the familiars try to convince us which side. Giro playing theirs and Izzy playing theirs.
Ka.
I'm convinced. Let's go north.
It was a compelling argument.
Well, it's an sort of emphatic cawing that comes that eventually translates to Kahlo.
Chameleon.
It is. Kahlo
Boy
the
George
medicine
awaits.
bird. Metal. Kahlo, the metal bird that belonged to our good friend, is up there, says Sphinx in charades. I actually don't know what they're able to communicate, so it might just be insistent cawing, and we'll
I
just have
do
to take
love
their
the
word for it.
charades idea. Just holds up the wing for one word.
One word.
Emulates
word,
on a phone.
bird.
Call.
Bird. Yeah, but that said, the more compelling information might be the one with words, assuming that familiars can do that. They can. We're level 5. They can talk now.
Well, the bird is a good omen. I believe we should at least check it out before we puzzle ourselves with this Luca and Cosmos.
All right, then, shall we head to the north? It's roughly my accent, I think. That or, something else vaguely English, but we'll offend 3/4 of our audience, and the rest of us will be fine. Doesn't matter.
I think Mejuli, with whatever her voice was, I think I did kind of like a screechy thing that I don't remember. She's a bird. Maybe something like this, something kind of screechy, though that doesn't sound right, but that's her voice now.
The waterfall did it.
I think she's going to say that it sounds like what Shirasen found might take a little more work to puzzle out, so it's probably a good idea to check the north corridor where the bird went first.
Maybe the bird will have a hint.
And then she's going to look down at the dragon that just called that thing a bird and smack it.
Right, so to the north, then.
To the
Shoot
north.
Sphinx up, then.
Make a decision. Take a tiny slurp.
A tiny slur.
Ah, yes. Team slurp.
I don't know if it's a team activity in particular, but everyone take individual slurps, very tiny. Oh, God. Wow, the Foley work there.
Just the
That's a bubbly bounce. Mango and passion fruit.
God, I love passion fruit. Remember Jamba Juice?
Okay, what do we find?
So,
Boop. So, what do we see in the room?
so you see the aforementioned eloquently communicated via charades, but now with your own eyes, you see the racks of weapons, some newer and in better shape than others, at least by wear and tear. And then the plaque in the corner, by corner I mean the far end of this kind of an inverted V-shaped room, and Kahlo is sitting atop it. Pay no attention, side note, to the cartography. There is no statue. It's an odd map choice. It's just a plaque. But the plaque reads, "Honor the weapons of the fallen dead, those who died in service upon the sea, but let not these tools go unused. For even in death they might help the living."
Sounds like we ought to steal their weapons. And I think with that, Tolu will just start grabbing handfuls of weapons and shoving them in their bag. I don't think it really matters what the weapon is.
I think Banram is gonna throw out his hands and say, "Hold on there."
Well, it said right there on the plaque.
Yeah, but the thing is, we got the other thing, the map thing, and he'll pull that out and
Right.
And point to it. I happen to be familiar with this particular passage because it was the piece they gave me. I had this one before. It says,
Congratulations.
"Pay homage
Excellent reading.
to the lost. Take not their blade or spear if you want to win the Pirate King's treasure." So, don't steal the weapons.
And Tolu very slowly takes out a handful of sword and spear and just kind of puts it back on the shelf. I don't know what you're talking about. I've just been standing here looking at the weapons we weren't meant to steal.
Well, I mean, on the brass bird, what did we truly consider a way to honor the dead?
I think we...
Can I roll a knowledge of some type?
I don't quite know what that means, but sure. go ahead.
Pharasman lore. No, yeah, you could do any sort of, if you have a pirate lore, nautical or sea appropriate lore.
I definitely took lore alcohol instead. My bad.
What
I have
about
Lore Beach.
Lore beach.
We have meteorology. That can tell us what the
love
weather's
Lore
going to be in this cave.
how about the ever popular lore, bardic?
Ooh, yep.
That feels...
That counts for everything.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that's all the things.
I'm gonna roll really badly now and then we're gonna be screwed.
I believe in you.
It's a natural 2 for a 10.
Oh no!
My
You shouldn't
faith
have
was
believed.
misplaced.
I'm a literal child, you forget, because I have a beard and floofy hair, but
Ah, yes, baby Banram Button. I do remember that joke.
I'd forgotten until you said that. Okay, so we've got a Bardic 2
so
plus
what did I
8
learn
for
with
10.
that too?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And again, I've got a lore... I'm going to go ahead and roll Lore Beach just in case.
But you said it came out to a 10.
Yeah. The 10 total. DC 10?
Oh, for sure. This was definitely something that was intended to be complex enough to require a lore check, so we're crushing it.
22 Lore Beach?
I nailed my Lore Beach roll.
Wow.
I don't know why I gave myself a +7 Lore Beach. Why did no one tell me? That's not helpful.
You just gotta get that suntan lotion right in between those shoulder blades. That's where it always gets you.
No one here is getting any burns. Not on my watch.
Suntan lotion.
Granted, most of us are animals.
You protect me.
So there is nothing else in the room besides the plaque and the weapons. Do any of the... And the precautionary warning is take none of the blades, specifically?
Spears, blades, and spears. Is that
Blades
it?
or spears?
Have
Is there
we?
anything that is not a blade or a spear?
Yeah. Yeah,
Bunch of
if
stuff.
you... And it's not even a seek check required. It's just the time of just kind of rifling through the shelves for one of you to do so. And I'm pretty sure rifling through a shelf makes you take a drink, so...
Indeed.
Would read aura, which is basically 2E's version of detect magic, help at all with this? Like, does anything stand out if I just kind of slowly wander around casting that along the weapon racks.
Yeah, so if you are reading aura, you do in fact find 3 mechanical, why did I say that word? You do find 3 magical, that's the right word. You find 3 magical items. A magical longsword, a magical rapier, and a magical spear. And while you were reading aura, I almost said read aura-ing because that's the type of linguistic specialty one should expect with a graduate degree. And Hiram is looking through the shelves and etc. There are a couple things that you find that wouldn't fall under a spear or blade category. They don't detect as magic, but you do find a club and a gaff.
Oh, like a hook.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, like a boarding hook.
Exactly.
So I think she'll say, I found these items that are magical, but the problem is they're all blades. And according to the plaque, we shouldn't be touching them, but maybe everybody just take a look, mark what they are, and later on if we find out that it won't kill us or something, we can come back and take them.
In the meantime, I've found this club and gaff that neither qualify as a spear nor blade. Feel quite comfortable with the latter. I just need to put it in my path builder here. But I wouldn't mind using the gaff again, if someone wouldn't mind this fine bludgeon.
Well, I applaud your ability to use a political mishappening as a weapon. And then we'll just elbow, I don't know, the nearest person to them. Gaff.
I laugh.
Thank you, Zach. Out of character. Thanks. Is the plaque that the bird is on, that was a plaque, correct? It wasn't something that was read by the bird? Like, we have not tried interacting with Callow yet.
Right.
Correct, great. I'm gonna mosey on over to there. Assuming it's in the same place as the statue that isn't there.
Yes. It's weird. Plaque plus construct bird equals statue. That's just kind of basic science.
I've heard that too. Oi, bird. So there seems to be something of a puzzle in this room, and maybe perhaps in the next room as well. Do you have any hints for us, aside from not grabbing spears or knives, or blades, etc.?
And the bird does that cool kind of rotating its head to the side thing. Rotating being leaning, that's the one. Different actions. The bird kind of cocks its head to one side, and it's kind of in this eerily mechanical voice just says, "Don't be greedy."
Just in life or with gathering tool? You know what? Thank you. The bird says don't be greedy. I'll be taking, just what I can carry and also sell, and perhaps store at home. So that feels reasonable to me, and you all can have as many blades and spears as you want.
The bird is clearly listening and plotting against us. We might want to kill the bird after.
You're talking about that bird, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Why be specific? We can work out the details later.
Kill, let's say 1 to 2 of the birds present should die.
Suffice it to say, if there are fewer birds when we leave, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But
it's only good news for us.
Can we read that plaque just one more time in case we're missing something?
Aye, let's have it read. Go ahead, Callow.
The bird refuses to read the plaque, but in your minds, you hear my voice reading, and it says, "Honor the weapons of the fallen dead, those who died in service upon the sea. But let not these tools go unused, for even in death they might help the living."
So, what if we take the magic weapons, but only to use while we're in here to help us, and then return them. And she'll turn and look at the mechanical parrot and say, Do you think that would be okay?
Speak, bird.
Does it say anything?
The bird just kind of flaps its construct wings and just says, "Don't be greedy." You don't get any sort of idea whether that is necessarily
A confirmation or a denial. Yeah.
words.
I'm not very smart, but I'm content with this gaff and club. Feel that there is something special about the distinction of blades and spears. Perhaps we hold on to these mundane items, and perhaps if we find a use for blades, we come back. But I, and pulls out his super fancy rapier, am not really in the market for, attentions of another lady, as it were. I know why my accent changed near the end of that, but...
Oh, it's been happening all day. It's the waterfall, probably.
Yeah, that waterfall's weird. It makes it feel like 2 months have passed.
When clearly no time has.
Yes, very strange.
Alright, so, taking the gaff and the club, and,
Take the gaff and the club and head back south toward the puzzle,
to the other end of the spatula.
as it were. You know, my mother used to say that. Head back south toward the other end of the spatula. And I hadn't known what she meant for the longest time, and now I do know. I have no idea where in Europe I'm from. I don't know. I
just
frequent
an
all
American
parts.
who
I know.
summered there. Just picks up a It's like the mid-Atlantic accent.
I did my study abroad. I visited Paris once.
Yeah, no, that waterfall is basically just the river of Levy or whatever. We have all just the waters of forgetting.
Oh,
The
leafy.
river. Levy, Lethe.
Styx.
Yeah,
Mississippi.
And not Styx, it's one of the other ones.
Yeah, Levy is the
Seine?
other one. That's the one I'm thinking
Seine?
of, right?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
3, aren't there? I think there's
Yeah,
a
but
third
Levy
one,
is
too.
the forgetting one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Levy's the forgetting
There are
one.
like a lot more than 3 rivers, actually.
She
Fantastic.
Not in
Yes,
Greek
Lord.
mythology. They only got the
That
3.
was beautiful.
That was
Those
a
river
lore
beaches.
beach.
Lord Beach coming through.
That was a straight 27 right there.
Boom.
This is all going so well. I'm so excited to solve this puzzle.
So walk
Alright.
me through before we leap headlong to the other side of the spatula. Did anyone take weapons? If so, who took what?
I took a gaff. I don't know who took the bludgeon.
Yeah, did anybody want to take the club? I have a stick already, but I can take the club if nobody else wanted to take it.
I have no idea whether or not I can use the club, but I'm not particularly interested in adding it to my character
The
sheet,
club
so
is
I will
simple,
not.
so everyone should be proficient with it.
Yeah, I guess Banram could take the club.
Really proficient in Tengu weapons.
I guess Banram took the club.
I would say Tolu probably has a little stash just like near the wall of the cave, but would not have left the room with them after Banram's cryptic warning. It was not
He just
cryptic,
kind
it was
of
pretty
gathered
straightforward.
everything together into a swag bag and tossed it in the corner.
Right, just so you're right. No, I'll grab that on my way out.
Okay. Then, yeah, now that the party has assembled in front of the altar, you can see, in fact, that there is something carved into the top of it that wasn't quite perceptible to the familiar, and I will reveal, well, a handout number 2, not included in the
Nice.
digital asset at all. Why do you ask? I don't know. Should be. Just you wait. Coming in hot.
Whoa.
Carved onto the top of the altar is the following. To find your way, you must be able to navigate by the sun, the moon, and the stars, preying upon a lucky comet to find your way home. The sun is mighty in value, worth more and placed before the stars. The moon and her pale radiance can't be gold or copper. To spy a comet is worth 100 times what you might get for glancing upon the moon. The stars come out right before the moon rises.
I need to figure out how to do this in character because I already solved it like 2 minutes ago. And I feel like my bird person doesn't have the same knowledge.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, would my person be able to figure this out? Yes, it's a very smart podcast, everyone. Good job.
Since the moon can't be gold or copper, and the comet has to be at least 2 above it, that means then the moon must be silver, right? Because the moon couldn't be platinum if the comet has to be above, so that's 2 of them.
Right? And then
And she'll turn to the other 2 members of the party. Do you 2 know the other 2?
we said the moon was platinum. Did we say the moon was platinum? No, we said the moon is silver.
Silver.
The moon was silver.
Yeah, and then comet would be platinum.
Right.
No time has passed.
No time has passed. And if we know a comet is worth 100 times what we could say from the moon / silver, we could probably say that one's platinum. There, I've contributed, I've done my
Yes,
part. I
but
do
if-
that.
If the comet is worth 100 times more than the moon, I mean, it's probably worth more than the treasure, right? We could just take the comet and be done with the whole thing.
You're not wrong.
I think it's meant to be like a riddle or a metaphor.
I don't
Not that this comet statue is actually worth more than the real sun.
I think Tolu kind of crouches down, perhaps unnecessarily, in front of Banner, and is like, so we've got platinum, we've got silver. I don't remember what the other one we had was. Did we have copper or gold?
I believe we
We didn't have
assigned-
either of those yet.
Yeah,
Oh.
we assigned copper to the lowest of them, so I believe that was stars as it came first.
Right. All right, so we've got 3 of the 4, and now you say the 4th one, for fairness. I don't remember what the 4th one is. Sorry about that. No, we just said. It was whatever one I didn't just say.
like the sun.
Gold.
Be gold.
Excellent job, buddy. That's it.
Participation. Take a drink.
He gives himself a gold star.
Not you. You don't take a drink. You're a child.
Yeah, that would be.
Here's a sippy cup.
I don't get carded, but it, you know, I tell the bartender because
I'm
a
8.
child.
I just throw a couple ice cubes in there. It's fine. It'll water it down.
That's up to your parents, perhaps.
I'm
so
a
I'll
terrible babysitter. Let's
Yes,
go.
agreed.
I don't have parents. I spontaneously formed on the deck.
Oh
of the
right,
ship
oh right. Okay, well then I'll
by
say
Pharasma's will.
several ice cubes then. So many ice cubes. Anyway, we've got let's do the riddle making. Oh, I guess we'll put 1 piece of those on each little soup then. Do we have a platinum? Have I missed something? No, there's a coin in each one. Change accents again.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
does it matter that it says the sun is mighty in value, worth more, and placed before the stars?
Oh, as
It
in
is
like
before
the
stars.
order.
The stars are copper.
But it also,
Right. But if there could be an order as well, because the stars come out right before the moon rises.
But also in the map that I've just had up on the screen the whole time, because I'm not messing around here. It says, "Lost at sea. Remember that the one that is worth the most always goes last."
Well, that seems.
Oh, so we have to put them in a certain order? Do we have to set them down on a certain
I
order?
think
That
we
just
do have to set them
reinforces-
down in a certain order.
Well, okay, but that still gives us 3
Okay,
of 4
so-
instructions. So we've got 3 of the 4 directions, perhaps.
Well, no, we know what all 4 are. We're just wondering
Right,
if we
but
have
in
to
certain-
set them on from like lowest to highest.
Right, and it does seem like we have to do that. So we've got stars come out before the moon rises, the highest value comes out last, and the let's see, worth more in place before the stars. So that's going to be copper. No, not copper. Right? Which one? Something.
I think
Moon
maybe we should
stars?
set the sun on the gold first, because it said that the sun comes before the rest.
Oh, and then platinum should go last.
Yeah.
Stars go before the moon, and the moon
go-
goes before the star. No, that's not right. Sun.
Before the
Moon both goes before the star. I'm going to stop talking. I'm done now.
So
That's it. I've contributed.
Yeah. Majuli is going to pick up the sun and set it down onto the platform with the gold piece on it and kind of like wince away like she's expecting something bad to happen.
In the inlet? In the outlet? The inlay?
Just to
The
tuck it in there.
receptacle?
Slap.
Well, she sets it on top of the thing, I'm assuming. Right? On top of the, what do you call it? Platform. Pillar.
It's like a
Pedestal,
USB
that's
A, and you try to put it on, and like, oh no, it's gonna fall over. And you turn around the other way, and nothing happens. And it seems like a bit.
Worth more in place before the stars. Go ahead. I went first last time.
No.
While they're fighting, I think Banram is going to grab the stars and pop them on top of Copper.
Yep. I'll go ahead and grab the moon, which we've discussed is no, because moon is platinum. I lied. No, comet's platinum.
No,
Moon is
silver.
fine. I'm gonna put the moon next. On the Kyo. People are gonna assume I don't know how to do riddles, and I do. Just stand over here. It's fine.
The listeners
And
can see
Hiram
understand.
will place the comet onto the platinum. Take a drink.
As the comet is placed on the platinum platform, all four sculptures glow with a radiance matching their pillar before they float upwards toward the ceiling to create a vibrant illusion of the sky, the sun setting on the ocean with the stars and moon rising before a flash that resolves with a streaking comet overhead. And once the illusion dissipates, you're not going to believe this, but another door opens in the northeast
Dads.
of this very chamber.
What?
It appears to be another door, lads.
Fantastic puzzling.
Great job. Hands in, everybody. And wings, or, claws if you've got
General
them. It doesn't really matter.
appendages.
Appendages in, all.
Whatever your most dexterous appendage.
So it's
My
really
brain.
fun. Why save this for the end when I could say it now? Had you not solved that correctly, a tremendous gust of wind would have blown the statues all off the pedestals and potentially knocked you prone and dealt 4d6 bludgeoning damage
Wow.
4d6.
to each of you if you failed to
That's a
save.
lot
It's
of wind.
intense.
Excellent catch, Sam,
Yeah.
or Banram, and the order thing. Or Zach, someone.
Yeah, no,
Sam.
Good
that
job,
would
team.
have killed us because I didn't think twice about the order.
My bird would have gone right in the water again and been a different accent and a different type of bird and much less powered.
Comes back a level 3 badger.
A wee canary speaking with a southern accent.
The weeest of canaries.
Bless your heart.
Oh, it's adorable.
Why should the familiars have all the fun?
Hiram walks into the room.
All right. Best of luck then.
The door slams shut behind Hiram. Water begins rising inside the chamber.
That's why the familiars can fly.
Yeah, Banram will dance his way in so that when we inevitably get in a boss fight, he can use performance for initiative. He's just popping and locking the whole way.
Oh, way. I'll tell you what.
Imagining the Bob's
there's a
Burgers
boss
scene.
fight.
Okay.
Oh, if there's a boss fight, 1000% permission granted.
Because that's hip hop. I'm gonna find that scene and just drop it in the Discord for everyone.
I need a minute to compose myself. Oh, the roiling ocean. No, the rolling. It's not boiling. The rolling ocean has been painted on the walls of this chamber in faded blues and pale white. Opposite the entrance is a raised platform with an enormous stone throne set against a far wall. An equally large skeleton sits on the throne, clad in the raiment of a pirate, complete with a patch over one of its empty eye sockets. The voice of your former captain calls out from the darkness. My old friends, you have come so far, and the end is just over the horizon. I hope you will face this final test together and learn, as I have, that you can only step into the future by overcoming your past. As the voice fades, the giant skeleton suddenly stirs, standing up and drawing a massive scimitar. With a nightmarish clatter, it stumbles forward to attack, and, shocking everyone, we're going to roll for initiative.
Okay, but everyone saw Jeff get super big on shocking, right? We all saw that? Is everyone
No, I'm
still
not
in together mode?
anymore.
You're the only one still in together mode.
It's fine. It's fine.
So am I really rolling performance for?
Absolutely. You came in popping and locking.
This is a dance
If
fight.
Majuli says, "Holy crap, can I roll with my religion instead of my perception?"
I don't know what you're ruminating about.
If Tolu says, look at the sand.
Behold, the beach.
So I totally wasted the plus 13 performance. Total of 17.
It's not a total waste, it's just most of a waste. Where's my initiative?
It's your perception.
It's my... Oh, thank you. Okay, great. Perception. Got it, found it. Whoa, that's my initiative? So high.
I wasn't really enforcing an exploration mode activity sort of thing in the first half that we just played, so I didn't want to switch that over this time around. So yeah, perception.
I feel like any of us that weren't actively popping and locking were probably percepting.
Yeah, I mean, stealthing.
That's my general rule. I'm either popping and logging or percepting.
Well, you certainly can't observe while you're popping and locking.
Absolutely not. Not if you want to really hit those angles.
Locks.
Yeah, you gotta concentrate.
Fully be popping.
Yeah, when you're band room, you're popping and locked and loaded.
Oh, that was funny. I like that
You're
one.
such a weird baby.
It's the youth
You're
these days.
drunk with your ice spear and you're popping and locking.
What was the total there for old Tolu?
22, which seems high, but I'll take it. Change the accent again. It's fine.
Okay. Then, coming in rather live for a Deadman, the skeleton with a 31 total initiative does get to act first. And thanks to the flavor text of Jason Bullman, he is canonically already standing, and so I don't need to use an action to stand. Instead,
That's cheating.
hey, it's, Adam on Twitter.
I'm gonna pop and lock right at him.
Good. I would. It will then it will stride forward. And get here. Get to within 10 feet as though its size gives it some sort of reach. And it will level its rather substantial gaff hook at conveniently right kind of before him. Banram, Majuli, and Hiram were kind of arrayed in a diagonal. Majuli was the straightest target shot from the throne and will receive the following vicious strike coming at you for a total of a 29 to hit.
Nice.
Oh, that does hit.
Very high.
Is that a crit?
It is not a crit. It's only 7 above.
Excellent.
I have a very high AC.
You monster.
That is probably a good thing, but who could say? I'm sure crits are not a big deal. So just a regular hit, doing a mere 26 piercing damage to Majuli.
26?
Ow.
That's a lot of damage.
26?
That's a good chunk of damage.
I did roll nearly max,
Very
if that
chunk of
helps.
damage.
I rolled
Yeah, you were
very
gonna
high
say
on my
low.
dice.
We're gonna.
It would help if you'd roll again and get something lower.
Yeah, if you could just do that one more time. That'd be nice.
Oh, I should have thought of that in the first place. I apologize. So
I just accidentally told myself to heal by 26.
stride, strike, and swinging the gaff down again. 26 to hit. Said you said it was 7 over, so that's still gonna get you.
Yeah, that is still a hit.
Okay. Not as high, but still pretty good damage. 23 piercing.
I am down. I had 20 HP left.
Oh,
Oh no!
So that puts you dying 1, right?
Dying 1, yeah.
No crit, so you're not bipping and bopping down the dying.
Can you move before Skellington in order?
yes.
So, basically just to the end of the...
Yikes. That was
Alright.
the savage opener from this skeleton. It's like, hey, thanks, Captain Renlock, for bringing me here. And then murdering me. Pretty passive-aggressive.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, that was a turn. But now Hiram is up, and you're fine.
Hiram, taking a sip from his ever-full tankard, is still
action.
holding the gaff. Oh, yep, sorry.
Taking a sip. One
Still
action.
holding... Still holding the gaff, even though he does have a rapier that is his divine bond, which has disrupting on it. But he still wants to hold out because of the wisdom of the bird in the cave. So with his gaff, he takes a step. And first, let's have fun. I'm gonna roll a trip. This is a trip weapon. I got some athletics. I don't ever do combat maneuvers, like, ever. So, this is an old athletics roll against, I believe, it's like your reflex DC, in the case.
Yes, and unfortunately, that was good, but not quite enough to take the legs out from under this big old skelly boy.
So, I know iterative attacks take the multi-attack penalty of like -5 or whatever. Does that also apply to combat maneuvers as well?
If it has the attack traits,
Which I believe combat maneuvers do.
which, yes, they do, so it would indeed qualify with the multi-attack penalty.
I'm still going to try it again. You put my friend down, I put you down. I am an agent of equality in all things, and vamping. Worse.
So he just desperately tries again with that gaff and just like maybe hooks a tiny piece of like patella, brings it back to him, not injuring the skeleton at all, but being like, I have a kneecap.
Indeed. Yeah, you managed to scrape harmlessly just an ooch of cartilage, and doesn't quite hit.
Well, kneecaps and nightcaps, am I right?
You are not
This thing is
wrong.
still like half full. Loving these tiny sips. And that's my turn. I got nothing.
Okay. That's fine. It's probably fine. That brings us then to Tolu and the adequately powered Sphinx.
Let's do a hunted prey at the skeleton. I don't believe that allows for an additional strike this time, but that it could be, or maybe it does. I don't remember. But that'll
so
be one
hunt
action.
prey is one action.
Great.
And then you
Hunt
could use
prey.
your second action to hunt a shot if you wanted to.
Yes. Okay. So let's do hunt prey one action. The second action will be I'll come back to in a second. Will be just the hunted prey shot. Third action, I'm going to send my bird out with significantly less power, just to attempt to strike. Now I have the support benefit that will allow 1d4 bleed. I'm assuming a skeleton doesn't bleed, but I would like to try and just claw at its little face and, create a distraction in any other way possible. Or I guess just do regular damage if I can't bleed it.
Yeah, so if you want to get the support benefit, you would send your bird in before you attack.
Yes, yeah. Or I'm figuring I can just do, okay. So I can send the bird in as my first action, second action, hunted prey, third action, hunted shot. My bird's second action will be to, oh gosh, I can't remember. Does the flying count as part of the action?
I think
I'd
that
have to look
the
all these
flying
things
is
up.
one action and then the support is the other.
Yes, if you have the bird attack, then you don't get the support benefit.
Right.
either
Yeah,
or.
no, that'll be its next turn around. But I will have it attack, and then next time if I attack it, that should theoretically work if we decide bleeding is okay. So, go ahead, bird. I will also make a just regular attack roll for Tolu with the bow. That is just the worst. I think that's going to be a 19 total.
So a 19 does not hit. With hunted shot, you do get to make a second shot. It will have a -5.
You said a -5, so 9, 13, 22?
Unfortunately,
Yes.
that does not hit either.
Oh, that's such a bummer. I don't even know what an arrow is going to do to a skeleton. Well, let's see if bird hits. Come on, bird. Oh, that's a natural one. Bird does nothing. We're all going to die here.
Well, one I have to ask, where would you have flown Sphinx? Where would Sphinx be? You could move Sphinx on the map.
Oh, right. Yes, I forget about that every time. I think Sphinx is going to be just in its face trying to distract it. Unless it has some sort of like a giant push button on it that says push to deconstruct or anything like that, in which case I'll aim for that.
No, I was just wondering. I didn't know if you would have had him like fly around to. I don't know how much movement he has. Although I should
60
know.
feet.
Whether
So
it
I
had
will,
enough to like flank or just.
I'm gonna send him around back. Just claw at the skeletons.
He has 60 feet of fly speed, so he could
Yes.
swing around if you'd wanted him to fly. Because the reason I ask is suddenly with the bird behind, that second arrow does hit.
Amazing.
It's
Wow.
wild.
What crazy times. Okay.
It's like the flapping of the wings just sort of
Just
affects
additional,
it.
just
It's
kind of
like-
shove the arrow into the right way. All right. Let's roll my 1d8. Oh, that's an 8. That's nice. That's
That
an 8
is nice.
plus,
Yeah.
I don't know, 2
Well,
plus 1. This new sheet is stressing me out, everyone.
is it a short bow or a long bow?
It is a composite longbow.
And you also get the so it's not if it's with plus your strength, it'd be +2.
Great. All right, so 10 total
And you
points.
do get that second D8 because it's your first
Hunting
hit.
shot. Yep. I'm going to find that other thing because it was so much more helpful. Thanks, everyone, and we'll edit the last 15 minutes out. That's my turn.
What was the other D8?
Oh, other D8. Right. Yes, you just said that. That is a 2.
2. So we're looking at 8, 2, and 2 for a total of 12.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like all of that goes through,
That is fair.
but you did damage the skeleton.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Which would then bring us to Banram popping and locking.
Banram is going to pop and lock and then begin accompanying himself with a hymn of healing. And he'll say, "So many times it happens so fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on those dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger." And that hymn of healing burns a focus point and grants Majuli fast healing 6 and 6 temporary hit points.
Nice.
And then, that was 2 actions. With his third action, he is going to inspire courage, but he's going to use a free action to use lingering composition. So there's a performance check versus the DC of the boss, I believe. Or our DCs? Maybe our DCs?
It's the standard DC per level.
Okay. I don't know what that DC is.
I do.
Natural 20.
Boom. Yeah. So I think that automatically would make. Well, what as long as you're. Yeah. So the normal DC by level is 20 for 5th level.
That's a
So
33.
Yeah. So that is a crit success, which I think gives it 4 rounds.
Yeah, we got 4 rounds. That's 2 focus points well spent, and Majuli is alive with 6 HP and 6 temp HP.
And for the listeners, in 2E, what's the Inspire Courage bonus value and what does it improve?
The Inspire Courage is a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, damage rolls, and saving throws against fear effects for all allies in the area.
Woo!
And that is all 3 of my actions.
Well, then that would bring us to the top of round 2. Although now that Majuli is not dying, I guess it brings us to the bottom of round 1. Because she would still pop up and be able to take her turn. I'm not sure exactly how that works. That's fine. Majuli does get to go.
Confusing.
You are conscious, not dying, but you are wounded 1 and prone.
Okay. Wounded 1 is on. Okay, let me see. I already used Restorative Familiar apparently during the last half of this session, so I can't heal myself for 1d8 times 2. Using my dragon. Apparently I did that already. Let's see. What can I do? Yep, and I do heal 6 points, which is that happened at the beginning of the round or the start of the round? And is fast healing 6, is that 6 turns or is that 6 points per turn?
That's 6 points per turn, and it goes as long as I sustain it.
At the beginning of your round.
Yeah, so technically you get the
first
6
thing that's gonna
now,
happen is she's gonna.
and then you also have 6
Yeah.
temp.
Yeah, so she's up to 12. And let's see, what's going to be good against the skeleton? 10-foot burst. Everybody is around me, so that's not going to work. I think she's just going to cast haste on everybody, so everybody mark yourselves as hasted. And she's going to take for her last action, she'll take a swing with her thing. What's the penalty from swinging from the ground in 2E? Is there a penalty from swinging to the ground in 2E?
I believe so. And I will tell you the details of that right now. You take a -2 penalty to your attack rolls.
Okay. Condition can use an extra action each round only. Okay, so I do get an extra action with that. And it's a quickened condition, that's why I couldn't find the condition. 2E is fun. Actually, 2E is a lot of fun. I just have to relearn all of the
Rules.
terms. Okay, add enclosed quickened. Okay. So then she will take 2 swings from the ground. So the second one's not going to hit anything because there's no bonus at all to it. But the first one is still a +5 even with that -2.
With flanking and Inspire Courage.
Oh, flanking and Inspire Courage is actually going to add another 3 onto that.
I'll take 2 off the enemy's AC for the flanking, so just add the 1 for Inspire.
Okay. So that is a 14 on the die, and this is bludgeoning because it's a Karaka. Or a Kakara, I mean. I'll continue to say that word wrong like I did last session. So that is a 14 on the die, so that'll be +6. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 to hit. Unfortunately, you feel as though maybe if you weren't prone, that would have been just enough. Not quite able to land the capital of Venezuela against this skeleton.
Okay, then with her hasted action, she will take another swing, which this one is only going to be at a plus. Actually, it'll be at a +3 because you said you're taking away for the thing, so it'll be at a +1. Nope. That is only a 4, so she swings twice from the ground and cannot hit it. And that is her turn.
Okay, but everyone now in the party has an extra action who are quickened and can use that action to strike or to stride only. But you get an extra action. Pretty great. And now this skeleton is turning its attention to Tolu, but Tolu is 1,000 feet away with 86 party members between the skeleton and it, roughly. So instead, it's going to pivot to this bird that is harassing it because it's closest to it, and is going to claw at it. Does a 32 hit Sphinx?
Okay, well, it's a bird, so yeah. That hits pretty good. Oh, hits really good. Yeah, no, hits critically good in retrospect. Oh, you're gonna kill my bird.
I doubt it. So just a friendly reminder to anyone listening, in 2E, when you critically hit, you roll everything and double it instead of rolling double like you do in Pathfinder 1st Edition. So that is going to be... I rolled pretty poor, I'm not going to lie. One of the damage dice rolled a 1. So it's only 30 points of damage.
My poor bird.
And I say that sincerely. I mean, granted, it's not... It doesn't look quite as strong as the gaff, but poor Majuli was taking 26 and a non-crit, so I could have just done 50 points of damage to the thing. So 30
dead bird.
could be a lot worse. Unfortunately for Sphinx, this creature does have 2 more actions. So
You're a birderer, sir.
jury's still out. Let's see how the rest of this
Is
So
it?
this goes. 26 is probably not a crit, right?
Not a crit.
Not a crit. It's fine. That's the exact same non-doubled, so 15 points of damage.
My bird is down.
The bird is down.
Bird is down. 8.
Okay. Well, then he's just going to coup de grace. I'm just kidding. Instead, then, he will, being a big, dumb skeleton, just kind of reach out at Hiram, not knowing that Majuli tried to swing futilely with the Kookaburra, So,
I'm going to use my reaction to raise my shield. Okay.
and my far and away lowest d20 roll of the night, only a 17 to hit.
Bordering on a critical fail, my friend. Ooh.
Skeleton sounds oddly just like you. Yeah, then that was its, Birderess, but because Sphinx didn't go down from the crit, if it was reversed, Sphinx would be dying too, but did not fall from the crit, and so is only dying 1. But we'll have to find out what happens next time. But for now, go to bed, all of you. Pod Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine, LLC. All rights reserved. Pathfinder, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and the Sundered Waves one-shot adventure are property of Paizo Incorporated and are used under Paizo's community use policy. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. See the show notes for additional music and licensing information. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review. Yeah, keep that in. It's all good. It's flanked on both sides by wooden racks. That word came out special.
I never say this, but I'm drinking a fine Beach Eagle Mexican-style lager. I don't know if you've
Drinking
tried...
alcoholic Mountain Dew.
I just have a vodka soda.
I can't every time it gets me.
Don't worry, the whole drink convo is a blooper, but it's gold. The laughs just...
I'm drinking some of Schenectady's finest tap water. Now I feel like I should get an alcoholic beverage.
If you want to be cool, Sam.
I am
And also
feeling
not
very
GMing.
peer pressured right now.
Well, no, wait, that's a joke. I really, you don't have to do that, which
No,
I think
I
you know,
think-
but it feels important for me to know that you know that.
Nothing like
was in
a
RA
late
college.
work night recording,
And
just
yeah,
living your best life.
definitely being over the age of 30 and just wrecking a couple beers with no consequence at all. Just feeling super good the next day. Not being exhausted, tired, and dehydrated because you consumed 24 ounces of beer. Yep.
Wondering, is this my body
What's
now?
the ABVs on this? 4.5.
All
My
right.
God.
How young do I think I am?
4.5.
Call that a
it's like
session.
living
That's a
in Utah.
marathon.
Delightful.
This making me think of Cole being insulted by looking up the thing I'm drinking and going, it's only 5%. Like it was a personal affront
We had
to
a
him.
whole conversation about that after. This is not relevant, but it's fine. Skip.
Yeah, we're ruining Tiff's game.
So, since the listeners cannot hear... Nope, that's the wrong one. They can hear.
That's their main skill.